here with Hailee, the owner of City Gym, and we are just going to continue our conversation about shame. And so, first off, Hailee, do you want to tell us anything about a little bit about City Gym?
Yeah, so we have 2 locations. We're actually in our downtown location right now, which is at 9th and McGee, but our original location is at 74th and Mornell in Waldo. We're coming up on our 8-year anniversary, which is insane to believe. I know, I can't believe I've been doing this specific thing for almost a decade, which is crazy. The philosophy behind City Gym is really to meet people where they are, create a safe place for people to come in and explore, and for transformation to happen. So gym can be a really intimidating place. The fitness industry can be a really intimidating place. Mm-hmm. And I had sort of a basic belief that the folks who needed us most were those who were most intimidated or most overwhelmed to come in the door. So I wanted to create an environment where the folks who needed us most felt safe enough to come in and feel included. And then we layer in a lot of retention tools. So we have 50 classes that happen on a weekly basis, really beautiful, like studio quality classes. We have phenomenal trainers. We have 16 trainers on staff. So we have all these amazing sort of traditional gym amenities, but packaged in this environment that's really about making people feel safe and included when they walk in the front door.
That's awesome. So I know for anyone who is just now joining us, I'm just going to quickly kind of review what shame is.
Yeah.
So Brene Brown is one of the experts in shame, and she talks about how shame is just kind of this thing that shows up, and it kind of tells us that we're not worth love or acceptance or community or whatever because of something that we've done. And so how do you see shame show up here in the gym?
Yeah, it's funny because I've actually been having this conversation recently with a couple of people as life sort of like seems to be, synchronous this and that way. And I heard someone say that fear and shame and guilt are sisters, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, we talk about paradigms. So there's a fear paradigm and there's a love paradigm. So oftentimes people operate from this fear paradigm where the result of their fear is shame and or guilt. Mm-hmm. And so we really see people, shame shows up in folks' bodies, and that is something that not a lot of people recognize, that shame lives in our body. When you say the word shame, almost everyone's like, oh yeah, you feel it right in the middle of your stomach. You can actually pinpoint a place in your body. And so we see shame show up as, a lack of self-care, sort of this like over-busy mentality. We see shame show up as coming into the gym and beating ourselves up by the way we work out, instead of the opposite paradigm, which is, oh my gosh, this is so joyful and so beautiful that I can move my body and give back. We see shame show up in people's limitations. A lot of times we limit what we feel like we can do or we should do based on our shame. Comparison is a form of shame. Mm-hmm. So in the gym, it shows up when somebody shuts down, when someone walks by who they think they should look or be like. So shame takes both kind of a physical manifestation and then an emotional manifestation, but both play an intricate part to self-care, which is really what being the gym should be about. It's not always about. Sometimes it's about, beating yourself up, but it should be about self-care. And so shame shows itself in a lot of ways in the gym environment.
Yeah, I think most people, especially most women especially, have definitely felt that. They come to the gym kind of as a form of punishment for what they ate,
right,
or vice versa.
Right.
They gain some weight or something like
right,
that, and so it's punishment and not something they enjoy. And so I know that you used to be a trainer, and I know that you are very meticulous about the trainers that you hire on.
Mm-hmm.
So how do the trainers here help people kind of overcome that mentality? Because I know that we get a lot of people that come to this industry who are coming here and they want their trainer to help them die in the gym,
right?
And it's not because they want to feel stronger or something like that. Usually it's
Absolutely. Yeah, and so I still actually train a couple of clients. One of my clients, she and I have worked together for 3 years, and we just had our 3rd year anniversary, and she's lost like 130 pounds, 140 pounds. And she is such a beautiful example of someone who came in just really wrapped, like shut down in shame. And I think that the key for me as a trainer, but for all of our trainers, it's about building rapport. So building that trust where someone can lay down that shame, because shame is really just armor, right? It's protecting us. Guilt and shame protects us. It keeps us at distance from our feelings or from connecting or from feeling vulnerable. So for me, the very first thing I do is build rapport. And so for me, the way that looks like is I'm a big believer that I'm going to give to you as much as I'm asking from you. So that means I'm going to be really present in our sessions. I'm going to be really focused on your progress. I'm going to create a plan specific for you, not a one-size-fits-all. I'm going to spend a lot of time reflecting back to you if you say like, oh, that wasn't good enough, or oh, I can't do that, or oh, I'm fat, or whatever. I'm going to reflect different like reframes on that. We can't do that right now. Let's try it. Let's see if we can get better at it. Or, hey, would you call your best friend fat? Like, so to try to kind of reprogram some of those tapes that happen.
Sure.
And so I think that the very first thing when we're dealing with any client, but specifically clients who are really wrapped up in shame, is trust, building trust. And without that initial rapport, whether it's in a therapy session or a doctor or a personal trainer, you can't lay some of that stuff down that is our armor and then really get to work at what you're here for, which everyone thinks is their body, but it's not. I mean, fitness is sort of the way we get in front of people, but really what we're doing is we're healing those places in ourselves that allow our outside body to reflect our inside body. So I'm a big believer that if you want to look at yourself in the mirror and see something different, you gotta work on your heart and your head first. And then what you see reflected back to you will be more beautiful than you could have ever imagined. And some of that's a physical transformation, but some of that is kind of removing the fog that happens when we don't see ourselves for who we really are.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely have heard and definitely told people that, our outside bodies are a reflection of how we're feeling inside. Because like you said, if the self-care is not there because of all these other things and whatnot, then that shows.
It does. Yeah, I think that happens whether someone has a physically perfect body or maybe a body type that doesn't fit into some mold. I think too often we look at someone and we have this sort of picture in our head of the way people are supposed to look, and then we assume because they look a certain way that everything is good for them. And that's just not true. And so that's another big thing those are some of the other barriers that I talk a lot to clients about. They'll come in and they'll be in a shame cycle, for example, and I will immediately start talking to them about social media. I'm like, who have you been comparing yourself today? Like, what are these unrealistic expectations, or what is going on in your life that's causing this sort of old pattern or this familiar pattern to happen? And more times than not, they're like, oh yeah, there's this person on social media and I feel like I should look like them. I'm like, why? From a science perspective, genetics are such a unique expression that even siblings don't look the same way.
Yeah.
So for you to think you're going to look like me, or me to think I'm going to look like you, it's just not scientifically possible. So instead, my whole approach is let's max out your genetics. Let's help you look and feel as good as you can, and let's let go of comparing ourselves to other people. And it's obviously it's a process. That letting go is a process.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to sit down and chat with me about this.
Thanks for asking me. It's something I'm really passionate about. I think it's something that we don't talk about enough in the wellness industry, but specifically the fitness industry. I think that what can happen in a gym can be really beautiful and really expansive. So I appreciate you asking.
Well, thank you.
Thanks.